Daily West Ham news update show. Welcome everyone. I'm going to go through some stories that are circulating around our club, certainly today and last couple of days really. So if we start off with Kalvin Phillips, CDM, 30 odd caps for England, 1 goal, plays for Manchester City, signed for them for around 50 million from Leeds, but really is not playing at all for Man City, and not even in terms of a sub coming on, nothing at all. Gareth Southgate, controversially, is still picking him for England, like Maguire, one or two others. But I think Southgate has told him that this can't carry on. And even he admits, Mr. Phillips, who looks so happy on the bench, sometimes giggling and laughing, you wonder where the ambition lies with some of these players sometimes. But listen, it's the modern game. But even he knows that it's getting quite embarrassing for him, and he just cannot go season by season. I mean, he's 27, going to be 28 in December. It's around coming up to the peak, you know, the player when they play the best football in their mid to late 20s. And even he has had a discussion with Pep, and apparently Pep has agreed that you can go in January if you find yourself somewhere, and Man City are happy with the terms, that he can go, whether that's on loan or permanent. It could be either, it looks like. I mean, if you have a quick look at Leeds United career, 234 games, 14 goals, 13 assists, 55 yellows, 1 sending off. Man City, just the 26 appearances, and certainly no sign of a goal or an assist. Every time Kalvin Phillips' name's there, we're always linked. That's why we're kind of in the stories with him. Newcastle are more likely to make a move for him than us. We're kind of okay in the CDM area for now. We've got Ward-Prowse, we've got Alvarez, we've got Souček. Yeah, I think we're okay in that kind of area really, but things can change quickly. I mean, alongside another story is obviously Paqueta is always going to be linked with Man City for the next couple of windows until that alleged betting scam story allegation is cleared up. And if Paqueta suddenly goes, because if that's all cleared up and Pep wants him, there's not much we can do. We'll get around 85 million with a bit of luck. That's a really good profit on what we paid. And then we'll need a CDM. But Phillips is nowhere near Paqueta's class. There's not many people like Paqueta. He's a classy CDM, you know, a bit like Ward-Prowse. I'm very lucky to have both of them in our team. Whereas Phillips is more like Alvarez. You're very down to earth, in the box CDM, wins the ball, moves it on, that's it, which is fine. But as it stands at the moment, yeah, our name's always going to be linked in and around him. I'm not too keen on him. I think City want most of the 40-50 million back. I don't think we're going to be anywhere near that price or player or requirement at the moment. So no for me, no probably from the club. If Paqueta goes, then we would revisit that and that area and that position, but then we would look for someone who can match, as closely matched to Paqueta's skill set, which is not only you put your foot in now and again and have physical, but also have that skill to move the ball around and run with the ball, bring it. You know, not many players run in the world like that, but that's kind of what we would look at. Another story nicely on the back of that is Smith Rowe, come back from long-term injury. Emile Smith Rowe from the Arsenal Academy, under 21. He's 23. He was 23 in July. 103 games for Arsenal, 18 goals, 11 assists, attacking midfielder really. So yeah, he's always going to be linked with us. There was a crazy story about saying that when Rice went, we've agreed that we got a first chance to sign him if that ever came up. Probably not true. It's a bit of a weird one really, so that's probably not true, and the club will probably deny that rightly so. Smith Rowe again, yeah, a couple of very serious injuries. I don't think he's got a full England cap. He's got 16 caps at under 21, 5 goals, lots of goals in there. Listen, if this guy can bring 5 to 10 at least goals to your midfield, that's a lot, you know. So I think if he can be injury free for the next season or so, and can't quite get a regular game for himself, which will be difficult in a very competitive Arsenal squad, then I think we should revisit this. I don't think there's many players in midfield that can score that many goals. Looks like Arsenal have got a few in abundance. Again, yeah, he's exciting. He scores goals. He's a busybody. And then, yeah, I wouldn't mind having a punt on him. But yeah, at the moment, it's just a very vague link up with him. Another one is the Chelsea centre-back Trevor Chalobah. Yeah, in and out the Chelsea team. Centre-back, 3 caps at under 21 for England. 24 years old. 63 appearances for Chelsea. 4 goals, 1 assist, 8 yellows. Chelsea are always, even now, the squad is huge, so they're always looking to churn out some of their players to bring some money in to offset what's going out, sort of what they're spending, which is huge. I think this player's up for grabs if we want him. I think you got to bear in mind, and yeah, we got Mavropanos, but at the same time, we've got a very out of form Agard. Ogbener's coming to the end, so I think the club are still being linked with, like him and Maguire, they're still being linked with centre-backs. I think there is a requirement there. But for me, the more urgent issue, the more pressing issue is a striker for me. We've got to look at a striker in the next couple of windows, certainly in January. We've got to bring a young fullbacks in, to kind of compete and hopefully in time replace Kufal and Emerson. Emerson's 29-30, Kufal's a slightly bit older. They've had a good start to the season. They give 100%, but again, if you're ambitious, you've got to go for better players. You've got to go for younger players. That's kind of so for me, the wing backs, full backs, and striker situation is more urgent. But in time, looks like we will need a centre back as well. So we'll see how that goes. The other story is Andy Carroll. Yeah, apparently he said he was very happy at West Ham, but he wasn't happy with some of the chanting the fans used to do about him. That probably goes back to what he used to do off the pitch. So he didn't help himself. Listen, when he was fit and he played for West Ham, there wasn't many strikers like him. I loved him, including, I remember, 3-3 game against Arsenal, probably that Billet season, the first season. Hat-trick from Andy Carroll, and he was getting pelters from the crowd. I remember that. And I'm like, are you West Ham fans? They were like, some of the things they were saying about him, I'm like, whoa. And he scored a hat-trick. Look back at that fan. He didn't have the guts to apologise or clap or what. He got some miserable fans like that out there anyway, and when he was fit, there was not many like him, and not many centre-backs wanted to play against him. But he did do a lot of things off the field. He got injured all the time. I know that's not his fault, but I remember a couple of the injuries, I think one of them's related to partying and not looking after his physical side enough. So when he was long-term injured, I think he was going out too much, socialising. He used to do things like slip down the stairs and hurt his ankle. So he didn't help himself. He's in the news a lot for the wrong reasons. Some of that came with banter, but I wouldn't cry about it, Andy. You done well. You're a £90,000 a year contract back then. There's not many players on that now, mate. You done well financially. It's fair enough. 4 or 5 year contract. Sam brought you in. I was really surprised and nicely surprised that you came to us from Liverpool, because you were a great striker. But yeah, very frustrating, very injury prone. And for me, Andy, I don't think it's worth bringing news like that out, mate. I mean, listen, you've made financially well out of West Ham. We treated you well. You admit that. Listen, you're going to go out. You're not going to look after yourself. You're going to be in the news for the wrong reasons. The fans are going to pick up on it. And yeah, they made a song about you. I agree. Some of it shouldn't be family. It shouldn't be pointing at you. It shouldn't be anything like that. But it is what it is. Some of the fans call it banter. Some call it a bit above that, mate. But it's a kind of a no news, really, isn't it? So I thought I'd mention it, but I don't think Andy needs to say anything. The other final thing is we're playing Villa this afternoon. So I will be doing a show straight away after the full-time whistle. Again, they're a team going along nicely like us. Very, very good manager. I respect her. Emery was at Arsenal and then kind of such a success at Sevilla, winning kind of Europas year in, year out. Yeah, he's beginning to make his mark on the club. You've got a good team. Watkins up front, Diaby and 1 or 2 others. So yeah, it's going to be a tough game for us at Villa Park. And again, the question the fans are asking is Kudus. Is he going to play? Is he not? It looks like he's not. I don't think he is. It's a worry for me because, okay, Souček's going to play. But when David Moyes makes statements like, oh yeah, it's really nice Kudus to come off the bench and score that equaliser at Newcastle. That's what squad's about. It's good that we can use players and they can make it. I mean, guy's a £40 million player. He's a bit more than use him on the bench now and again, and he can help us during the season. You can't even make up shit about him not being fit. He's fit from day one, right? You can't spend 48 million and he's a bit part player, right? And Agard, I mean, yeah, I'm going to keep an eye on him. It's only a matter of time before Mavropanos comes in, and only a matter of time, as far as I'm concerned, there's going to be another Agon mistake, right? So yeah, I don't like those kind of comments from Moisey, and yeah, Antonio's already sort of making comments that he's good, and he kept out Haller, he kept out Scamacca, maybe he's got one eye on keeping Kudus out as well. But yeah, for me, Kudus should be playing more often than not. He needs to play instead of Souček. Keep Antonio up front. It's not ideal, but he's the only kind of near striker we've got, even though he ain't one. And then have Bowen, Paqueta, Kudus in the three behind, and keep 4-2-3-1, whatever. But yeah, that's kind of what's happening. But anyway, we'll catch up after the Villa game. So take care, everyone. Let's see what happens. Take care. Bye. Come on your eye.